Hello, my name is Kes Ballantyne. I'm going into my 5th year at Pitt, and I'm a doctoral candidate in the School of Social Work. Today, nearly 800 graduate students stand with me as we deliver our emergency funding petition to the university administration. We commend Pitt for acting quickly to respond to the COVID-19 pandemic. Research and coursework promptly shifted to remote methods to protect student and community safety. Many of us were provided with emergency money through the CARES Act and an International Emergency Student Fund. These measures were a great start, but they do not ameliorate the hardships brought on by a total shutdown of research and travel. The aid the university administration provided is simply not enough to meet the level of disruption graduate student workers have faced because of this public health crisis. This is why we, the Pitt Grad Union, are calling on our university to do the right thing, to treat us as valued members of the Pitt community and protect our research and scholarship. All graduate students have faced disruptions to their progress in the past few months. It is important to note, however, that while all students have been impacted, we have not all been affected equally. Graduate students with caretaking obligations have additional barriers to making progress on their work. International grad workers are facing tremendous precarity due to travel constraints and visa issues. In Pittsburgh, where racism has rightfully been declared a public health crisis, Black communities and vulnerable communities of color have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic. A funding extension is necessary to build substantive equity, inclusion, and belonging in the academy. Graduate student workers at other public universities who have formed their unions decades ago or even recently have gone into this crisis with institutional support and organized momentum. For instance, graduate student workers at the University of Michigan secured up to $5,000 in emergency funding. Grad workers at Brown University just ratified their first contract and secured an agreement to reappoint workers facing disruption for up to 2 semesters. Harvard grad workers are currently voting on their first contract, which secures a 2.8% raise for all graduate student workers at a time when the university has frozen both hiring and raises for all non-union employees. As an organizing committee, we are still fighting to achieve protections like these at Pitt, but for too long, our right to organize has been obstructed. We would like to remind our university administrators that they have always had and can still choose the option of recognizing our union voluntarily. More than 2.5 years ago, a majority of graduate student workers signed authorization cards declaring their intention to form a union. But rather than recognizing us, the Pitt administration challenged our status as workers and decided to force us through an ongoing, protracted, and expensive legal battle. Today we ask, what if a portion of our tax and tuition dollars were used to extend funding to graduate workers who need it, rather than on payments to a union avoidance law firm to design million-dollar misinformation campaigns aimed at international and STEM graduate students? What if graduate student workers had a seat at the table in deciding how to respond to the issues we face because of the COVID-19 pandemic? As a union, we would have been able to bargain over sudden changes in our working conditions. As a union, we could have made sure international graduate workers were included in the university's COVID aid by working out a transparent and just process. We call on Pitt to adequately meet the needs of graduate student workers by extending 1 year of emergency funding to all who need it. Never forget, we are workers. Our work has value, and we deserve to have a say in our working conditions.